Hey guys, Level Cap here, and DICE has just dropped a big blog post detailing many of the upcoming changes for Battlefield 2042 in 2 major patches, plus some details about what they might be working on down the road. The next update, which is the smaller of the 2, is being called Update Number 2, and it's launching on Thursday the 25th. And despite this update being small, it's actually going to include some substantial fixes, especially to the weapon spread mechanics in the game. And then Update Number 3, which is going to launch in early December, is going to be much more substantial. Also, they're talking about trying to get another patch out the door before the holidays. That's not a guarantee, it's just what they're going to try and do, and what's included in that patch is not yet totally known. DICE also started off the blog post talking about their focus on server reliance and stability, and that they've also been able to fix some stuff behind the scenes without having to introduce patches, which is pretty cool. I will give DICE some credit for that. The ability to pull broken items or mechanics from the game, fix them, and reintroduce them without patching the game is something new that we haven't had in any previous Battlefield games, and that's a pretty big deal, especially considering, well, how many things come into Battlefield games not working as intended, and previously having to rely on a patch to come out to fix them. Now that's not the case, and that's going to be a massive quality of life improvement going down the road. Hit registration issues are being addressed in the next 2 patches. The inability to spawn with your intended loadout should also be fixed on Thursday's patch. DICE is adding a mandatory respawn after 30 seconds to try and hard fix some of the spawn issues. So if you get stuck in the can't respawn bug, hopefully it'll auto respawn you in 30 seconds so you don't have to quit out of the server. They're also looking into servers that don't spin up correctly, creating broken breakthrough servers where you just can't spawn it at all. On console, they have reported fixing a bug that caused the Xbox to power cycle mid-match, which is less than ideal. Regarding PC performance, DICE says they are aware that people are struggling to get decent frame rates or stable frame rates with not top-of-the-line hardware, and even with top-of-the-line hardware, the performance is not ideal. They are working on it, but they do want to stress that performance optimizations take time, and while they will roll out every little fix that they come up with along the way, it's not going to be an immediate performance improvement fix with like one magic patch or something like that. Hopefully this means DICE will actually continue to work on performance issues for the lifetime of this game because, well, let's be honest, there is a lot of room for improvement. When it comes to gunplay, DICE is aware of the aiming inconsistencies both on PC and console. There's a fix for some of the basically inconsistencies in mouse sensitivity coming in the update number 3. On the console side, they're aware of aiming inconsistency as well, and they're still working on it. They don't really have an ETA for that fix. Now, if you've been reading Battlefield 2042's Reddit recently, you've probably seen a couple discussions about weapon spread or bullet bloom. DICE is addressing a lot of that on Thursday's patch. They're going to reduce the global spread when zoomed and moving with all weapons. They've improved stationary zoomed accuracy for many weapons. The spread now decreases both faster and earlier when pacing shots. This means more success with single fire and short bursts. They've increased the PP-29's vertical recoil to ensure that that weapon does not outperform others when engaging outside of its intended combat range. So all of that is coming on Thursday, which is actually really great news. Hopefully it'll mean that a lot of the weapons in the game that are currently unviable will become viable on Thursday. Now with update number 3, which is coming early December, they are going to fix an issue where spread would be too high when trying to fire while zoomed right after sprinting for certain portal weapons. And they're also reducing the effectiveness of the NTW-50 against vehicles. That is the super powerful sniper rifle that most of you probably haven't unlocked yet, but if you do, well, take advantage before update number 3 comes out and have fun killing helicopters, tanks, basically everything on the battlefield. Now, hovercraft, everybody's favorite vehicle in the game so far, are getting their armor and weaponry nerfed with Update 2, again Thursday. Nightbird's 20mm cannons are getting nerfed for creating excessive splash damage as well. The Portal XP and Solo Co-op XP is currently back on, but now in a more limited capacity. The specifics of how things are limited are a little bit vague, but DICE is monitoring the situation to try and prevent XP grinding servers from popping up, and I assume they will be adjusting in accordance. So this means you should be able to now get unlocks and gain XP while playing various Portal modes. This is great news, especially for people missing out on unlocking stuff via TDM. Also, for the next patch, they believe they have the revive bug fixed, where you couldn't revive somebody if they were too close to a wall or an object when they died. They're re-enabling the UAV 1 in Portal. Apparently you could exploit it. It's now been fixed. And there's a handful of other critical changes which will be detailed in more patch notes tomorrow. Now, regarding more stuff with the much more substantial update number 3, they've improved the collection screen to make it easier to manage attachments and reduce interaction to customize your weapon. This is great. It's honestly one of my bigger issues with the game right now, is just getting new stuff on your gun quickly, conveniently. It's been a pain. In like 13 easy clicks, you can add a new scope onto your weapon. So if that's fixed, fantastic. They're making enhancements to the player card and end of round screen. They've improved the experience between the end of round and going to the menu. It's actually a pretty lengthy experience, so if they time that up nicely, it would be good. Better matchmaking reliability, as in less failed attempts to join servers. They're improving the crossplay invite flow. There's a fix for friend invites on PC. They're also introducing weekly missions for cosmetic rewards, which I think the timing of that is actually pretty good. Most players should hopefully be past certain elements of the grind where they're looking for some weekly mission content. They're also adding in a first match bonus to Hazard Zone, which you'll get 1,000 extra credits. So that's nice if you're playing your first match of Hazard Zone for the day and you need some extra credits to buy good gear. You'll get it after your first game. There's a fix for Angel not getting the appropriate amount of XP when providing resupplies in game. They're improving the mastery rank tracking, and they're improving the player card tracking as well. DICE are also working on rendering improvements, mostly targeting graphical issues caused by joining matches in progress, using your DLSS, and water reflections. The fixes include a variety of flickering and stuttering issues. Maps are also getting over 150 individual fixes, small changes and improvements, including level geometry that gets you snagged or trapped, spawn placement improvements, visual glitches like lens flare and visible skybox seams, collision and object placement issues, ambient audio fixes, and more. Something that's pretty exciting is that Rush is being implemented for all the All Out Warfare 2042 maps. So if you wanted to play Rush on those maps, you will be able to with update number 3. This, of course, will be available in Portal. They're adding new vehicle TDM, free-for-all, and gunmaster templates to Portal, a new official infection template, a new ability to detect what players were killed with in order to apply additional logic. An example would be if you got killed by a knife in Gunmaster, that would derank you. If there's anybody who is playing Hazard Zone out there, well, unfortunately, there's not a lot of big Hazard Zone improvements like AI boss enemies or rebalanced economy to make playing more worthwhile. Key changes include the scoreboard no longer showing the number of players connected to the match, better visibility for extraction zone smoke, plus more flares that should help add more visual cover. Initial data capsules have a chance to contain several data drives. DICE will also be making some updates to Jisoo's EMGX scanner gadget. They're adding a sound effect so that when you're scanned as a victim, you'll get a little notification. The scanner is also going to be able to spot targets above and below the operator, and they're disabling the ability to use the scanner while inside a vehicle. Now, the recoilless M5 rocket launcher, aka basically the only rocket launcher in the game, is getting a bug fixed where it could lock onto air vehicles when somebody was designating it with a SOFLAM, and that lock would not break even if the target deployed countermeasures. This apparently was a bug and not working as intended. Now, there's plenty of other nuanced fixes on there. They're all important, but I think I kind of laid out the main ones you might want to focus on. Again, if you want to read through all the details for yourself, there'll be a link in the video description. And again, it sounds like they're coming out with more patch notes tomorrow, which will have even more information. I probably won't cover those in detail, but I think I'll be streaming tomorrow, so maybe I'll read them in my stream if that happens while I'm streaming. Now, I know the talk of the town, if you go on Reddit or you just play the game for yourself, are bugs, performance issues, many problems with the game. My big issue right now is just most of the weapons not being playable. So update number 2 sounds like it's going to potentially fix a lot of those problems for me. It sounds good on paper, everything DICE is doing, and the timing of it also is pretty quick from just comparing it to previous Battlefield launches. Sometimes these bigger issues take months to sort out. hopefully these actually will get sorted out as detailed by DICE. Of course, this isn't my first rodeo. I know when DICE has said they'll fix things in the past and they try and fix it, it actually doesn't end up getting fixed because the issue was much more complicated than initially thought. But hopefully these next 2 patches will be quite substantial, and maybe they'll even get us another patch before the holidays. I'll be playing the game tomorrow. Obviously Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I'll be with family that day, but probably streaming again on Friday to test things out and see how it all went down. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on the current state of Battlefield 2042 in the comments, what you think about these patch notes, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.